Good evening and welcome to Primetime News here on TV1. I am Disal for News First, where we are and always will be with the people. Let's first start with your headlines.
Indian cop uncovers links between Coimbatore bomber and Zaharan Hashim. Cops who do not meet medical standards to be terminated. Shortage of medicine and medical devices worsens.
වකුගඩු රෝගීන්ට අවශ්‍ය ඖෂධ ටික දී ගන්න විදිහක් නැහැ. කුඩා දරුවන්ට අවශ්‍ය කරන ප්‍රතිජීවක සිරප් වල විශාල හිඟයක් තියෙනවා.
නෑ නේ මිනිස්සුන්ටත් නෑ අපිටත් නෑ.
මේ ගන්න තියෙන පාමිතේ. ඉතින් මොකද කරන්නේ? ෆාමසියෙත් නෑ.
Yala off-roaders produced in court. SLPP General Secretary continues battle for dual citizens' rights.
මේ මිනිස්සයා දිත්තපුර වැසියෙක් අපිට එපා කියලා එළවලා දැම්මා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි රටක් හැටියට ගෝත්‍රවාදය කෙරෙහි ගමන් කරමින් තියෙනවද කියන ප්‍රශ්නයත්
T20 World Cup. England stunned by Ireland as rain results in 5-run defeat and Sri Lanka in second place in the points table.
Now in your top story, a 25-year-old man was killed in a gas cylinder blast in Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore on Sunday. And now Indian police have identified the man to have had direct links with Zaharan Hashim, the leader of the terror group that launched the Easter Sunday attacks.
5 people have been arrested by Indian police in Coimbatore in connection with the cylinder blast inside a car that happened on Sunday morning. One person, Jameza Mubin, died in the incident. On Sunday evening, police officials uncovered a terror angle with links to ISIS in connection to the car blast. The deceased was trying to avoid a checkpoint and he died in the blast while trying to leave the car. Officials are not yet sure about what his target was. The 5 arrested men were identified as Muhammad Dalkar, Muhammad Azharuddin, Muhammad Riaz, Firoz Ismail and Muhammad Nawaz Ismail. They were arrested based on CCTV visuals from near Jameza Mubin's residence. Reports emerging from the initial stages of the probe say that Mubin was radicalized by the Islamic State philosophies and ideologies and was planning an Easter bombing style operation in Coimbatore and was planning to kickstart the same from Coimbatore. Mubin is also said to have close links with Muhammad Azharuddin, now in a Kerala jail for his involvement with ISIS networks in the past. In June 2019, Azharuddin was arrested as part of the National Investigative Agency's continuation of investigations surrounding the Kasaragod ISIS breakthrough in Kerala. He was connected on Facebook with Lankan suicide bomber Zaharan Hashim, the leader of the gang that carried out the Easter bombings in 2019, and other members of the module have also been sharing radical content attributed to Zaharan Hashim over social media.
The Ministerial Consultative Committee on Public Security focused on terminating the service of police officers who have not fulfilled required medical standards. The matter was discussed at the first meeting of the Ministerial Consultative Committee on Public Security held in Parliament under the chairmanship of Minister Tiran Alas.
The Sri Lankan Inspector General of Police had pointed out that there are about 4,000 police officers who are not at the standard level of health condition for a long period of time. Accordingly, Minister Tiran Alas advised that the police department should prepare the necessary proposal regarding the removal of police officers who are not at the standard level of health condition for a long period of time and send it to the ministry. Also, the Inspector General of Police pointed out that a large number of police officers will retire this year and therefore there will be vacancies of about 16,000 police officers this year.
9 people who were alleged to have violated national park rules and operated recklessly inside the Yala National Park over the weekend, and 7 of their vehicles were produced to the Tissa Maharama Magistrates Court today and were released on bail.
9 people and 7 jeeps that were involved in the Yala fiasco over the weekend that received widespread condemnation were produced to the Tissa Maharama District Court today after they surrendered to the Yala National Park Ranger's office earlier in the day. The magistrate ordered for the suspects to be released on a personal bail of 500,000 rupees each. In the meantime, a 3-member committee was appointed to conduct further investigation on the wildlife officials who have been temporarily suspended for failing to prevent the incident from taking place. This committee will be chaired by an additional secretary to the Ministry of Wildlife and Forest Resource Conservation.
The President instructed the security forces to conduct an investigation in an impartial manner and to penalize those accountable.
Over 100 off-road enthusiasts in 33 jeeps entered the Yala National Park on Saturday, the 22nd of October, and performed various maneuvers that caused harm to the wildlife.
Yala Zone 1 is dedicated for a valley with greens. This is where most of the animals graze and mate, and it is also an important area for endemic and migratory birds. 4-wheel vehicles entered the premises and caused serious harm to the natural environment. This was done by a group with links to politicians, business elite and security services.
Environmentalists also visited the Department of Wildlife Conservation today to inquire into the progress of the investigation.
We were told that the inquiry is ongoing and the blacklisting is yet to take place as they are yet to properly identify the perpetrators. We asked them if Mahinda Amaravira's son was involved. They said the investigation is pending. They did not confirm nor deny the fact that the son of a cabinet minister was involved.
Sri Lanka's cabinet spokesperson said that reaching agreements with creditor nations on debt restructuring would take more time.
We have Clifford Chance as legal advisors. We have Lazard from France as financial advisors. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is engaged in talks with creditor nations on behalf of the country. We are in talks with China on debt restructuring. Japan will also intervene. It will take time to reach an agreement because we need to know who holds the sovereign bonds. It will take time to locate who we need to service the debt with.
While off-roaders had fun inside the Yala National Park, the story of many other Sri Lankans was completely different.
This is the fate of the common Sri Lankan, while other segments ignore the crisis. This is the medicine shortage in Sri Lanka, a crisis that directly impacts the lives of the people. It is now a common sight to see people hunting for medicines from pharmacy to pharmacy at any city or town. This was the situation at the Kandy General Hospital.
ඒ හතර වර්ගයටම රුපියල් 5000ක් විතර වෙනවා. මහත්යාට හරියට රැකියාවකුත් නැහැ. හරි අමාරුයි ඉතින් බෙහෙත් ගන්න. අද දවස් දෙක තුනකටවත් බෙහෙත් අරන් යනවා ඔක්කොම ගන්න සල්ලි නැහැ. වරින් වර සමහරලාට අඩුපාඩු.
We encounter shortcomings from time to time. We are in short supply of antibiotics. In addition, there is a shortage of anti-cancer drugs. We try to manage with donations and supplies from the Medicine Supplies Division.
ඒක හරහා අපි ඒක පියව ගන්න උත්සාහ කරනවා.
Do private pharmacies have medicines that are not available with hospitals? This was the situation in the Kandy city.
ගොඩක් බේතක ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ නැහැ. බබා බේතක තියෙනවානේ. විටාමෙතසෝන් වගේ. කැන්සර් පේෂන්ට් එක තියෙනවානේ. කැන්සර් පේෂන්ට් එක බඩු කොහෙවත් නැහැ. ප්‍රෙෂර් බේත්, ඩයබටික් ඒවා බොන බේතුත් ලංකාවෙම නැහැ. පොඩි කටියට සිරප් අඩුයි, ආය කැන්සර් බේත් එම අඩුයි. ඒකට ඉන්ජෙක්ෂන්ස් එම අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Newsfirst repeatedly reported on the situation at the Colombo National Hospital, and this was what was witnessed on Wednesday.
ක්ලිනික් වල කියනවා මේ බෙහෙත් ෆාමසියෙන් ගන්න කියලා. අමාරුද?
බෙහෙත් ගන්න තියෙන්නේ සල්ලි වලට තේරෙම අපිට ක්ලිනික් වල බෙහෙතුත් හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාට බෙහෙත් බොන්නෙත් නැහැ.
Patients living outside Colombo are faced with serious inconveniences.
ගන්න දුන්න බෙහෙත් යාති 7ක් විතරම ෆාමසියෙන් ස්පීන් පෙත්ත විතරයි දුන්නේ මහත්තයාගේ හાર્ට් රෝග. එයා හાર્ට් ඇටැක් හැදිලා බයිපාස් කරලා තින්නේ. මේ කෙනාට දුන්නේ බෙහෙත් එක ස්පීන් පෙත්තම විතරයි අනිත් බෙහෙත් මොනවම જાතියක් නැහැ.
විරිතාලේ ලියන හුඟක් බෙහෙත් වර්ග නැහැ. ස්ක්‍රීන් එකක් නැහැ, ප්‍රොසෙසින් එකක් නැහැ. අත්‍යවශ්‍යම කියන බෙහෙත් තමයි නැති මේවා. පොඩි අය ලියන කොලොක්සික්ලව් සිරප් වලම නම් ගොඩක් ඒවට රෙකමෙන්ඩ් දෙන්නේ නැතරම නැහැ.
The Medicine Distributors Association elaborated on the situation. The medicine given to cancer patients to ease their pain and the medication for heart surgery is not available. We are facing a serious situation. Although COVID-19 was prevented, many more are dying due to the medicine shortage. Though it's not being reported, this is turning into a normal situation. Is the GMOA aware of this situation? Over 100 essential medicines are not available within the Sri Lankan health sector. It's not a shortage. These medicines are not available at all. Medicines for heart patients, saline, paracetamol and other antibiotics are not available. We're running out of cotton and alcohol rub. We're also running out of disinfectants, sanitary towels and medicines required for cancer patients. The National Eye Hospital is also facing a crisis. Medicines for kidney patients and children are in short supply. We cannot just give a medication to a child. There's a prescribed dosage. We are concerned over the continuation of the health sector in such a situation. This was a response from the government. The President granted permission to the Health Minister to expedite the imports via the Indian credit line. The Cabinet also appointed a special committee to ensure the supply chain of essential food and medicine is not disturbed. Is Sri Lanka short of money? There is absolutely no issue in the provision of funds from the Indian Credit Line, Asian Development Bank, donors and others for the procurement of medicines to the health system of the country. What we have is an inefficient procurement process. The time period for procurement is 11 months. However, an audit revealed that some processes lasted for years. A black market is in the making over the medicine prices in Sri Lanka and it needs to be dealt with. The Health Ministry told COPE that the data system is not working properly and decisions were made based on inaccurate data. They want the system to fade away by the end of October. Then they want to introduce a new system. If the existing system fails suddenly, there will be a serious crisis this year. We will be left without all essential medicines and supplies. The Health Ministry is trying to bring a new system at a cost of 1 billion rupees.
Economic crimes.
While the Ministry of Health is preparing to establish a database by spending almost ₹1 billion, do you remember what happened to the NMRA database? The approval of the National Medicines Regulatory Authority is essential for every medicine and medical device imported to Sri Lanka. With the COVID-19 pandemic, most of these activities take place online, and an advertisement published by the NMRA on the 15th of October 2020 confirmed this. The functions of the NMRA were carried out online using the Lanka government cloud for uploading important data related to medicines and medical devices. However, the data belonging to the NMRA, which was available on the Lanka government cloud, suddenly went missing, and later it was revealed it was deliberate deletion. A complaint on data going missing from the NMRA cloud was filed with the CID on the 23rd of July 2021. A software engineer attached to the private company that managed the NMRA system was accused of deleting the data. However, the database did not even have the minimum security measure. The issue went to courts on the 6th of October 2021, where the gravity of the missing data was disclosed. Senior Deputy Solicitor General Dileepa Piris revealed at the Colombo Magistrates Court that medicine racketeers made undue advantage of the COVID-19 pandemic that was spreading across Sri Lanka at the time. In court, it was revealed that the systems operator from the private company that managed the NMRA cloud had deleted data for a period of 7 long hours. Senior Deputy Solicitor General Dileepa Piris emphasized that all those involved in this crime should be thoroughly investigated and brought to justice, as they are part of an organized criminal syndicate. It was also revealed in court that the deletion of highly sensitive data was not a mistake but a deliberate act. On the 12th of October 2021, a committee which investigated the infamous data scam submitted its interim report to the then State Minister. This interim report, with serious recommendations revealed that fraud and corruption have continued throughout a long period of time. Although both the state and private company which manage the database have made various statements from time to time about this issue, no further steps were taken with regard to the data scam. Even the NMRA personnel have changed with the government change. There is a new team of NMRA personnel now. However, it was public funds which were spent on this. The deletion of data from the government cloud, which was a highly sensitive data system, cannot be taken as a minor incident. What happened to the NMRA data scam? What actions have been taken against those responsible? Are those also not economic crimes? The people of Sri Lanka are paying for the sins of the economic crimes that were committed by decision makers. This is the Dambura Primary School in the Padukka Divisional Secretariat, located not far from the city of Colombo. This school only has 68 children, and most of them don't even come to school.
ගොඩක් අය කුලී වැඩ කරලා ජීවත් වෙන කට්ටියනේ ඉන්නේ හිස්ති රස්සාවල් කියන්නේ රජේ රස්සාවල් කරන අය නෑ මේකේ ළමයි ගොඩක් අය උදේට කෑම කන්නේ නැතුව යනවා කන්න කෑම නැහැනේ ළමයින්ට ගොඩක් අය අර කලන්තේ දාලා වැටෙනවා.
The people in Dambura village are going through tough times. The Gammadda team came across these people on day 22 of the door-to-door campaign. The perennial issue faced by the people of Kappettigolla in the Meerigama Divisional Secretariat in the Gambaha district is a lack of access to clean drinking water. The village of over 100 families is severely inconvenienced due to this issue, as the wells have also run dry.
සමහරලාට මිනිස්සු රණ්ඩු වෙනවා වතුර ප්‍රශ්නේ නිසා. මේ වහින කාලේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ පායන කාලෙට. කිලෝමීටර ගානක් යනවනේ පෙලක් කියලාට වතුර ගන්න. ඉන්න දණක් නැහැ අතරම ගේට් බාගෙට හදලා තියෙන්නේ. පවුල් තුනක් එකට ඉන්න මේ පොඩි ළමයි තියාගෙන ඉන්න ගොඩක් දුරට අපහසු.
The Gammadda door-to-door team also visited the MC housing scheme in Hava Elia, Nuarelia. Selvi is a resident of this village and her husband is a labourer at the local government body. However, the family income is not more than 5,000 rupees per month. With a child with special needs, this family is experiencing the brunt of the economic crisis. The Gammadda door-to-door teams will continue to walk the length and breadth of Sri Lanka.
News First with the people.
Congenital heart disease is a major problem among Sri Lankan families, and due to the high cost and unavailability of sufficient facilities in the country, many are left without medical care. The Rotary Club of Colombo West conducts nearly 50 such surgeries abroad, changing the lives and giving hope to these children. On Tuesday the 26th, there were delightful scenes at the Bandaranaike International Airport as children with their parents arrived after successful surgery to unleash a new life.
The Rotary Club of Colombo West, in partnership with the Rotary Club of Cochin West and Rotary International and the donors from Sri Lanka, facilitated congenital heart disease surgeries for children out of the waiting list of the Lady Ridgeway Hospital Cardiology Unit.
In Sri Lanka, around 3,000 children are born every year with a congenital heart problem, but unfortunately only 700 out of them are subjected to operations owing to the lack of doctors and operation theatres. And it is only after this operation that these children can return to their normal lives. The Rotary Club of Colombo West and the Rotary Club of Cochin West, along with the Rotary International, will be conducting 65 such surgeries free of charge, and these children will be returning to their normal lives. I'm currently reporting to you from the Bandaranaike International Airport, where the first batch of 5 children returned to Sri Lanka today after a successful operation, with smiling faces, with their parents, and with hope for a bright future. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Rochelle Tubmodira reporting to you from the Bandaranaike International Airport.
These children were sent to one of India's main hospitals at Cochin, Amrita AIMS Hospital, and the surgery was conducted by world-famous surgeon Dr. Krishna Kumar.
I am from Kuliapatia. My baby had a problem in the heart for which a surgery was required. So we went to India through the Rotary Club. Baby's operation was successfully done. Now she is very healthy and happy. She used to turn blue, but there is no such issue now. We are really happy about it. When we went to the hospital in India, the doctors and sirs treated us really well. Everyone from the Rotary checked on us. The operation of the baby was done and they took care of everything and it was very successful. We don't have to worry about anything. They are looking into every aspect.
These 5 children you've just seen, these infants, have just come back. They're the first 5 patients to come back successfully after having done open heart surgery for various congenital heart defects. It is completely free of charge. So we have sent one of the parents together with the infant for a period of 2 weeks to Cochin. So everything is looked after, your airfare, accommodation and the surgery itself. I encourage more parents to come forward with, if they have children who have congenital heart defects, to come and avail themselves of this great opportunity. In addition to that, we also have sustainability ideas as well by increasing the capacity in the Lady Ridgeway Hospital, which is the largest pediatric hospital in Sri Lanka, so that we can build up our capacity in Sri Lanka as well.
Apart from this surgery, they also sent 30 nurses selected by Lady Ridgeway Hospital for 2 weeks after care training and along with 4 doctors for 1 month training. Under this grant, Indian doctors will also conduct a seminar for Sri Lankan gynecologists and radiologists to identify the heart ailment in a fetus to avoid complications and to do the surgery earliest.
Now a short commercial break.
News First, main sponsor.
25% for 2 months, 25.5% for 4 months. Valuable FD.
Ivan Satutin inne wiring karala. Wiring kirwe Eslon Polycon yodala. Polycon inne Eslon nivasin hinda. Tripurama Vishwasaya Satuta Petrila.
For your safety and the protection of the wires used in networking, electricity and AC wiring, S-Lawn Polycon cable trunking, suitable for white walls, prevents spread of fire, double lock technology. Ask for S-Lawn Polycon by name.
25% for 2 months, 25.5% for 4 months. Valuable FD.
Ivan Satutin inne wiring karala. Wiring kirwe Eslon Polycon yodala.
For your safety and the protection of the wires used in networking and AC wiring, S-Lawn Polycon cable trunking.
Welcome back to the news. Medical reports have confirmed that Venerable Galwave Siridhammathero, the convener of the Inter-University Bhikkhu Federation, who is currently detained under the PTA, has contracted the dengue virus. Venerable Siridhammathero is now being admitted to the Colombo National Hospital for further treatment.
Venerable Siridhammathera is currently under a 90-day detention order. It was last Saturday we got to know that he had fallen ill. When I saw him, he was in a critical stage and they had not done any treatment. At least they could have informed the family. On top of detaining an innocent person, they don't even want to give him any treatment when he falls ill. If you can't do that, please send him out. We will take care of him. We don't need anyone to take care of our brother. Even the authorities know that he is innocent.
He can't eat proper food. His platelet count has also gone down and he is dehydrating. He is in a very critical stage.
The General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna says that the access given to the dual citizens to enter Parliament through the constitution of this country must be protected. He made these remarks during a media briefing held at his party headquarters, and he even brought up the appointment of the new Premier in Britain, Rishi Sunak, as an example to support his stance.
Then අපි කතා කරනවා විශ්ව ගම්මානය.
We are in an era where we consider the world as a global village. Instead of moving ahead with the world, some groups are trying to drag our country back to the era of tribalism. We condemn such attempts. Britain, being a nation that was always governed by white people who are also strong believers in Christianity, has now picked a Hindu devotee with an Indian background as their premier. But as Sri Lankans, we do not allow any person to come and join the parliament just because he obtained a dual citizenship in another country. I think people who represent these amendments to the constitution must show cause as to why they want these amendments, because this is nothing but an attempt to drag the country back to tribalism. And Britain has given a nice knock on the head to those people who bring these amendments to our constitution.
එංගලන්තයේ විසින් පසුගිය සතියේ ලබා දුන්නා කියන එක තමයි මගේ අදහස.
Can we approve the example by Sagara Karyavasam and compare it to the situation here in Sri Lanka? The current British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak was born on the 12th of May 1980 at the Southampton Hospital in Britain, which means he is a British citizen by birth. He grew up and did his politics in Britain. He was neither born in India nor did he pledge his allegiance to the British monarchy to obtain British citizenship. But the situation here in Sri Lanka is different. If a person who was born here in Sri Lanka travels to another country and pledges his allegiance to fight for the country by cutting off all his roots to his motherland, what right does he hold to make decisions on behalf of our country and its citizens? That is the real issue we should focus on. Can we compare the situation in Britain to what is happening here in Sri Lanka?
The overseas travel ban imposed on former Central Bank Governor Ajit Nibad Cabral was extended to the 24th of November by Colombo Additional Magistrate Harshana Kakunawala today, Wednesday the 25th. In the case, the case was taken against Cabral based on the private plaint filed by Kirti Tenakon.
The complaint was filed under 6 individual charges accusing Cabral of misusing public funds during his tenure as the CBSL governor. The complaint also alleges that while serving as the governor of the central bank, Cabral caused a loss of $500 million to the government in sovereign bonds from the 15th of September 2021 to the 4th of April 2022. The additional magistrate ordered for the ex-central bank governor to be released on 2 personal bails amounting to $1 million each. However, counsel appearing for Cabral said the complainant had filed the matter with no reasonable ground and therefore it needs to be dismissed. Objections by both the defence and the plaint are to be filed on the 24th of November 2022. The suspect has misused public funds as if they were his own. This is a serious case. I sleep peacefully at night because I have not done anything against the people. I worked to prevent bankruptcy, so my conscience is clean. They can say anything. This is also a personal case and not filed by the court. We will respond. This is not the Supreme Court. This is a private plaint. Anyone can file a private plaint. We will respond. Do not fear.
Opposition leader Ajit Premadasa met with medicine importers, distributors and salesmen today.
The root cause for the medicine shortage is the lack of a prioritized system and the dollar shortage. Has the government even thought about solving the dollar crisis? The Pandora Papers have revealed the loss to Sri Lanka, and has anyone thought about recovering this money? Talks are taking place with India, China, United States and the European Union. They will offer us loans, but we can easily recover these dollars. If you give the task to Shania Besekara, he will recover the dollars lost to the country and mentioned in the Pandora Papers.
Timeless Turkish recipes were up for a quick taste in Colombo at a food festival organized by the Turkish Embassy. Newsfirst's Tina Marian reports from Colombo.
Turkish Culinary Days, a food festival to offer Sri Lankans a taste of Turkish recipes, launched in Colombo on Wednesday evening. One of the most famous executive chefs from Turkey, Recep Ozkaya, presented the delicacies that sent taste buds for an unforgettable experience.
Well, we had already organized a food festival 2 years ago when I came to Sri Lanka, and we've seen then there's a a great wish from Sri Lankan people towards Turkish cuisine. People are very interested in tasting the Turkish cuisine and Turkish delights, etc. So we thought we would repeat the experience once again. Whenever Sri Lanka is facing a challenge, Turkey, the government of Turkey is doing its best to help Sri Lanka to overcome those difficulties.
Delicacies from timeless Turkish cuisine were offered in Colombo with the Turkish Culinary Day, organized by the Turkish Embassy in Colombo. Tina Marian for Newsfirst, Colombo.
The 39th anniversary of Cargills Food City was held at the opening of the 500th outlet in Akureguda.
The event was attended by Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, the Central Bank Governor, Ranjit Page, the Deputy Chairman of Cargills Ceylon PLC, and Asoka Piris, the Managing Director of Cargills Retail. Everything Cargills Food City has done over the years was compiled into a book, making this the first book published by Cargills Food City. The first copy of the book was handed over to the Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe.
When we started our first store in 1983, we never thought that we would be able to engage beyond Colombo. What we have done today is just that. We are in 25 districts, serving thousands and thousands and thousands of customers every day, engaging with farmers, ensuring their incomes, their livelihoods are met daily. We believe that the future of this country is to build local food production. Even though the company is 178 years old, it's still alive because the youngest person in the company, as well as the oldest person, will always work towards contributing in our every minute, contributing for our nation.
If the price of 1 kilogram of a certain vegetable in Dambulla is 200 rupees, it could cost around 600 to 700 rupees at a shop in Colombo. That is because the cost of the intermediary is high. This happens because of inefficiency on the part of the intermediary. It is, however, not their fault, but shortcomings of the system. If an intermediary does not exist, how can farmers' products hit the market? The easiest way is to import. But the most important option is to create a market for goods produced locally and to make the intermediary's role more effective, which will make local goods competitive with imported ones.
Newsfirst goes global once again. Newsfirst joins the Asia Vision membership of the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. 28 countries, 30 news channels, 24 hours a day.
News First with the people.
Stay with us for more news coming up after this short commercial break.
Ivan Satutin inne wiring karala. Wiring kiruwe Eslon Polycon yodala.
For your safety and the protection of the wires used in networking and AC wiring, Eslon Polycon cable trunking.
The leading Tamil television channel, Shakti TV, proudly presents the Eastern Beat Music Festival. Indian playback singers Satya Prakash and Haripriya, along with one of Sri Lanka's leading music bands, Agni, for a storming performance in Batiklo on the 29th of October 2022 at 6 p.m. Join with us at the Batiklo Hindu College ground and witness the greatest show in this decade.
Rishi Sunak appointed his new cabinet hours after officially taking over as Prime Minister.
On his first full day as UK's Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak has been meeting his new cabinet. Sunak has pledged to govern with integrity and has included people from different wings of the party in his top team. He has kept a number of ministers in the same posts they were in before, including Foreign Secretary James Cleverly and Defence Secretary Ben Wallace, and Jeremy Hunt, who will remain in his post as Chancellor, the country's finance minister, after having been in the role for just over a week. Dominic Raab was appointed Justice Secretary and Deputy Prime Minister by Rishi Sunak. Suella Braverman has returned as Home Secretary less than a week after she resigned from the role over a data breach, leaving with a brutal attack on Liz Truss's government's direction on migration. Nadeem Zahawi has been appointed Minister without portfolio and Conservative Party Chairman. Grant Shapps has been appointed Business Secretary. Penny Mordaunt has been reappointed as Leader of the House of Commons, and Gillian Keegan has been appointed Education Secretary. Steve Barclay has been appointed Secretary of State for Health and Social Care, a role he briefly held under Boris Johnson after Sajid Javid resigned in July. Kemi Badenoch has been reappointed International Trade Secretary and will also be Minister for Women and Equalities. Lord Drew has been reappointed Leader of the House, and Simon Hart has been appointed Chief Whip.
England's air of invincibility was washed away on a damp and dramatic afternoon in Melbourne, where they lost an abbreviated game to an outstanding Ireland by 5 runs. This opens Group A for all teams, with Sri Lanka placed second, right behind New Zealand.
Ireland have caused one of the biggest upsets in the history of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup by registering a 5-run victory on Duckworth-Lewis method over England in Melbourne earlier today. It was a well-deserved victory for Ireland, and skipper Andy Balbirnie has to take much of the credit following his quick-fire 62 from just 47 deliveries and some inspired bowling changes in reply. England were unable to gather much momentum during their chase of Ireland's decent total of 157 and will rue the fact they were 5 runs short of the par score when rain hit late at the MCG. The good news for England is they can still recover and reach the semi-finals, but the bad news is they are likely to have to defeat reigning champions Australia at the MCG on Friday if they are to do so. Ireland's net run rate is poor, but the improving European side are now level on points with England and still in contention to pick up their own spot in the final 4.
Ben Stokes up in the air. Third man should take this. Third man deeply taken on.
New Zealand and Afghanistan had to settle with a point each as a Super 12 encounter of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup at the MCG in Melbourne got washed out by rain today. And with that, that's a wrap of Primetime News here on TV1. As always, thank you for watching. Stay safe, take care, and have a good night.